I am going to settle the debate of size matters because some people say size doesn't matter and some people say size does matter, and I'm going to settle that debate once and for all. Size does matter. And let's get your mind out of the gutter and let's talk about why and what we're talking about. We're actually talking about O2 absorbers. When you go to fill a jar, size matters. The size of the cc's that the O2 absorbers are, like 150, 200, 300, 500, the size matters. Why? Because your jar has a capacity that holds air, and in air is a certain percentage of oxygen. If you remove the oxygen, you can't have life form. So if you don't have life form, your food is better longer, right? I like this idea because I love to eat. Have you not been able to tell lately? Moving on. What I love about PackFreshUSA is, one, their products. Their shipping is fast and amazing. Their Mylar bags are superior, and trust me, I've tested. They're superior. And they want you to succeed in everything. So right here they have container size. Now this is a half-gallon mason jar, and you would think I could fit a 300 cc in there and I would be done, right? You could think, but look at this. If you have a half-gallon mason jar, depending upon what's in there, if you have pinto beans or some kind of beans or rice, you only need a 150 cc. If you have flour, flax meal, instant mixes, powders, coffee, beans, that would be a 200 cc. And your 300 cc would come in if it was pasta, cereal, instant potatoes, oatmeal, barley, dried corn. That would be when you would use your 300 cc. Now, why is the size so important? Because each size literally has a price tag to it. The higher up, the more expensive they are. And why would you want to use a 150 in here if you were putting pasta? You would only be removing half of the oxygen that you need to. It wouldn't be strong enough to absorb everything. But you could use a 300 just to be extra careful, and that's actually what I'm doing. Because I have vital wheat gluten in here right now, I am choosing to use the 300. One, because I have it available, and they're also my favorite size, and two, because I always go one step up. And since it says 200 for flour products, I'm using the 300 because that's the next step up. Now let me show you what I'm going to do, because inside here we have 300 times 20. I can tell you right now there's not 20 in here because I opened it up the other day because it's shorter and I took 5 out, so there's 15 in here. Now I'm going to open it up real quick, take 2 out and reseal it. So I can show you how I'm going to do that, because the longer they're subjected to air, the more they start activating immediately. So this is where I'm like really quick. Like I have everything lined up. I throw the O2 absorber packets in there. I run them over there and I just start sucking them up crazy. Like this one will automatically, I'll throw it on there and then I'll just throw the lids on here, right? Got my drift? Got my drift? Now, why am I not using a vacuum sealer for this? Because it's flour. And I have had a vacuum sealer go bad because it sucks up the flour particles into the motor. No good. I know some people say put a cupcake liner, but that also is, for me, not good enough because I really want to keep my machinery in top condition for as long as possible. So since it's going to be long-term storage anyways, I'm just going to throw one of these in there, cap it really tight, and we're going to be golden. Now you will notice I have my machine. I have it plugged in. I have it turned on. I don't need the port. I'm going to be using the sucking feature of the bags because I'm going to be reusing this bag. Now, I have already cleaned my rims along here and I have my lids ready to go. Let's just go for it, because we're going to cut just along the seal. We're going to remove 1 and 2. We're going to turn around. Brand new lids for this. And that's all you've got. Like, it wasn't even exposed for 30 seconds. These are going to seal up. That's already sealed. And I'm going to put everything on the shelf after I label. There you go. See? They make it so easy. They always send these things with their orders. Save it. Save this little guy because he is going to be your best friend. Now you know what I know. Have fun out there. Bye, you guys. Now, you're probably asking, what are you using Vital Wheat Gluten for? I make all of my bread products, and Vital Wheat Gluten is used to up the protein level of your wheat breads that you use yeast for to get a better rise. And that's it. Just to answer a few more questions, these are going on my shelf for long-term storage, which means I'm probably not going to use them for a year or maybe a year and a half. You only use 1.5 tablespoons every time you're making a loaf of bread of this wheat gluten. So literally, it's going to last me a long time. Now, I have one working jar already where I open it up, and once I open it up, I don't put another O2 absorber in. So every time you open this, you're going to have to put a new O2 absorber. So when I open this one, I will divide it into 2-quart jars, and I will put some in my working container that is in my pantry in the house. And then I will put O2 absorbers in smaller ones in each jar, seal those up, and put those back on the shelf. Now, why don't I store them all in smaller jars? Because that would use way more smaller jars. This way, I'm just using large jars. And that's the way I roll. That's the way I roll. We all roll differently, right? This is me. You guys have fun out there.